All right, hi everyone. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 5:32 p.m. But before we start off, we're going to start with territorial acknowledgement. So we respectfully acknowledge that the SFSS is located on traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish people, including the Musqueam, Squamish, Swallowtail, and Coquitlam and Catsi nations. Unceded community territories have never been handed over, sold, or given up by these nations, and we are currently situated in occupied territories. As we move to a roll call of attendance, I will call on you by your position, and I will ask for your name, your pronouns, and your access needs. I will start with myself. Hi, everyone. My name is Judith. She, her pronouns, and all my access needs are met. I'm going to move on to VP Finance.
Hi, everyone. My name is Abby. He, him pronouns, and all my access needs are met.
Thank you. And I will go to Data Science Counselor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vadim, and my pronouns are he, him, his, and all of my access needs are met.
Amazing. Thank you. And now I will move on to our society staff, and I'm going to start with our administrative assistant.
Hello, everyone. I'm Simmer. I go by he, him, and they pronouns, and all my access needs are met. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for being here today. We move on to item number 4 on agenda, which is our consent agenda. Motion reads, be it resolved to adopt the consent agenda by unanimous consent. We have 4.1.1 matters arising from the minutes in the consent agenda, and it's our committee meeting minutes from July 29th. So I'm going to go seek unanimous consent on this. If you wish to dissent, please raise your hand or indicate in chat, and I will call on you to record your vote. Seeing no dissent, that carries unanimously. We can now move on to item number 5 on the agenda, which is the adoption of the agenda. Motion reads, be it resolved to adopt the agenda as presented. I will move. Can I get a second?
VP Finance.
VP Finance seconds. I will open up the floor for discussion or any amendments. If you have anything, please list yourself in the chat. Seeing none, I will move this to a vote. I will be seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please raise your hand or indicate in the chat. Seeing no dissent, the motion is carried. We can move to new business, which the first one will be 10.1. It reads, the title is Student at Large Recommendations, Finance and Administrative Services Committee. Submitted by myself. The motion reads, whereas there are 2 available seats for Finance and Administrative Services Committee for student at larges, whereas the Finance Committee has made its decision on the ideal candidates, be it resolved that nominating committee formally recommends the council to appoint Amelia Hunt and student X. I will move. Can I get a second?
DSSS.
Data Science. Awesome. So I'm going to open up the floor for discussion on this. Go ahead, Abby.
I'm going to move to amend the motion. I want to change the whereas clause, the second whereas clause, to whereas the Finance Committee has made its decision on one of the ideal candidates. And then I want to change the be it resolved clause to be it resolved that the nominating committee formally amends to formally recommends to council to appoint Amelia Hunt and cut out the part that says and student X.
Okay.
So like that.
Okay, all right. VP Finance moves. I will second. I will open up the floor for discussion. Go ahead, Abby.
Just to explain myself, the other candidates didn't get back to me, which I don't blame them. It's finals time, you know, but that may also lead to a reevaluation of which candidates are really interested in this.
Okay. Is there any further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, I will move this amendment for a vote. I will be seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please raise your hand or indicate in the chat. Seeing no dissent, that amendment is carried. We are now back to the main motion. I know I had a list. I'm going to retract. Is there any further discussion on the motion as it is right now? Seeing none, I will move this to a vote. I will be seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, please raise your hand or indicate in chat. Seeing none, that carries as amended. And that also brings us to the end of routine business, which we're doing section 11, which is committee chair outreach, submitted by myself. And the blurb says some committees have not met yet, and it's hard to tell how that will impact at-large elections. So that will be our precursor to this discussion. So this is kind of an issue we're looking at for certain committees that have at-large representation who have yet to be called. I'm under the impression that because they haven't been called yet, the applications haven't gone out for the committee either. Most notably, these committees would be things like outreach committee, first-year engagement, I believe accessibility. Like these committees who would usually have at-larges sitting on them, but they haven't been called yet. And applications from haven't gone out yet, which I think in this context is probably better because that way people don't have to wait super long to get a response. But we are kind of in a position where if those committees don't get called, then we might not have at-larges for those committees by fall, which is quite problematic, especially if you look at like first-year engagement, because we have a fresh round of first years coming in and we don't have a committee that's supposed to look after them. So I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to be doing here, but I'm gonna open the floor if anybody has anything to say or any thoughts on this. Go ahead, Abby.
Yeah, there's a couple different perspectives I have on this. On one hand, it would be great to have committees sorted out before the fall. On the other hand, waiting until like mid-fall to fill those committees, I understand it's a very busy time for us with the AGM and all that during that time, but waiting until mid-fall allows first years to kind of get their footing and see if they want to apply to some of these. Now, some of them like Spock might not be the most first year friendly, but something like, I don't know, the first year engagement committee might have some good room for first years. So I think it's a double-edged sword. It'd be good to have everything sorted out, but especially for first year engagement, I think we can afford to wait a little bit.
Since I placed myself on the list, yeah, I understand. I think it's also some of the committees that are meeting haven't submitted their at-large applications yet, which is not great. I know nominating committee is usually the most like active or most liked committee, which is fine. It's just not, it's here for a reason, and it kind of makes it hard to get at-larges into their positions. For the recording, the VP Finance said that nominating committee is the IRS of the SFSS. Not sure. I not sure if I agree, but I appreciate the sentiment. So I think at this point it would be valuable to reach out to committees that are active and are most likely reviewing at-larges, so we can get those formally appointed and just push through a council and consent agenda, because I do want these individuals placed on the committee ASAP, and if committees made their choice, then we should just reach out to them. It's possible that majority committee chairs don't actually know you're supposed to submit them to nominating committee. I know some of the committees, I believe BIPOC and equity, I want to say, don't have to go through nominating committee. They can select their own, but the rest do have to go through nominating. So it'd be ideal if committee chairs would submit them if they have reviewed applications, so we can submit it to the council agenda. Yeah, but I don't know if anybody has any ideas how we can approach this topic without sounding like we're demanding committee chairs to do something. Go ahead, Abby.
This is where a little email where we say a friendly reminder may come in handy, just because there are Actually, I was going to say, I think there are new chairs, but I think it's only the executives that have been new chairs because the other committees like first year engagement and outreach haven't actually been called yet. So there wouldn't be new chairs for them yet. But I guess for what we do have and what hasn't been submitted for those committees, we can still send a friendly reminder out and then let people know if you become a chair at some point. So for outreach and first year engagement and such, to follow the procedure for now.
Yeah, just to respond to that, I can send it to the chairs only mailing list and have chairs see it because it only goes to people who are current chairs. I don't think there's a reason to blast council, but like, yes, by the way, because I think majority of council would think it's not relevant to them whatsoever, which is fair. But yeah, I kind of need people to follow the process on this. Yeah. Just was wondering. Yeah, go ahead, Abby.
Yeah, that sounds like a good alternative, just sending it to chairs only, so then only the people who needs get bugged by it.
Yeah, it just also avoids me sounding like I'm trying to lecture people, because I really don't. I just want this to be done, especially for the committees that are actually meeting. I can't really do much about those who aren't, but yeah. Okay. Does anybody have any other thoughts on this? Okay, if that's a no, that's fine. I will probably reach out to the chairs on Monday and let them know. By the way, you need to come talk to us at one point. But yeah. If there's nothing else to discuss, we can move to adjournment. The motion reads be resolved to adjourn the meeting at 5:45 p.m. I will move. Can I get a second?
VP Finance.
VP Finance second. I will open the floor for discussion. Seeing no discussion, I will move this to a vote. I will be seeking unanimous consent. If you wish to dissent, raise your hand or indicate in the chat. VP Finance thinks he's funny, huh? I'm kidding. Seeing no dissent, that carries unanimously, and we have adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming out to a very short committee meeting.